and it was just fabulous. Going into his front bedroom, which he didn't use as a bedroom, he used as a storeroom, from floor to ceiling, Victorian children's books. It wasn't actually as overwhelming as it appeared, because by the time you had taken off the first layer, there was actually a dresser behind it. And that was full of books, but it wasn't packed as solid as we thought. But I mean, he picked up on them being given as prizes to children in Lewisham, and he gathered together the ones which were prizes for the same family. So these have been taken and rescued because they are a significant collection. There was also a box of those finger plates that you had on Victorian doors too, where you touch the door with your lucky fingers and say you have a plate to protect the paintwork. And
so, we'll just go like that. Go on, off you go. Off you go.
We're talking about this lovely guy who used to live here. A place that was advertising Guinness, which was a pastiche of the willow pattern. And it was just a wonderful, and pictures and paintings, and yes, we rescued, we recreated for a while his front room.
Right. I remember that, yeah.
Nice to go and visit, and it was just so great. So I'm really sorry that I never met him, but I do feel
you've known him because you've seen all the stuff he's collected.
I've seen what he had gathered. And
has that recreation set now, because it was in the bottom of Deptford Town Hall, wasn't it? Has it disappeared now?
The front room has been dismantled because they needed the space, but yeah, we're still keeping his stuff.
Okay, good. And, because I love that idea of recreating a room. You hear about it of more, much more grander sorts of thing, but of a good, honest working man that, well, not honest, not your normal working man.
1950s dresser painted in sort of turquoisey green paint. It was just so much straight back to my childhood, and it was lovely and privileged to be a part of it. So I'm really grateful to Beryl for bringing me into it. I also lost, I think, at least 8 pounds in weight because there were a lot of boxes to move in that very, very busy week we had. But yeah, thank you, and thank you for doing this.
Good, lovely. Thank you.
Great. I think I actually asked Ken to turn the rain off before we came because it was raining as we were setting up, so he's still looking after us.
Distorted it, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So Julian, would you like to say something? Because you knew him as well. He did a lot of work in the churchyard.
Yes, I'm unprepared.
Oh, aren't we all?
We're prepared.
Aren't we all? Apart from me.
I was trying to remember when I first met Ken. I think it was probably 1970. And I don't know how many of you know that in the 70s, the only archaeology available in our local area, in the boroughs of Britain, amateur groups, Dan Jones, working in Greenwich, and Ken White and Frank Wilmot here, the Lewisham Natural History Society. They had no money to do excavations. I don't know how they funded what they did. They had no money to publish anything, but we know Ken had his own wonderful ways of publishing things. But they kept immaculate records of sites that have never ever been excavated since, particularly the Ricklemarsh site that they did on the Cater Estate, showing that there was a Saxon settlement there. No one knew that before, but they found all the evidence. And since that time, since professional archaeologists have moved in, I know many of them, and they've said they're very impressed by the work that that Ken and his team did. They were so thorough, so meticulous, and all the records survive. So they covered a huge gap in what would have been a kind of archaeological black hole, and they did it, as I said, at no cost to the public and at very little cost to themselves, but they were very good. So I mean, Ken was extraordinary. The range of his books. What I'd like to do, because Ken never did the legal deposit for any of his publications. That's 1 copy to the British Library and 5 copies that go to National Library of Scotland, National Library of Wales, Trinity College Dublin and the Universities of Oxford and Cambridge. It is a legal requirement. I would like to try and gather 6 copies of some of his publications so that his research will be permanently preserved, because otherwise it won't. Because all kinds of things can happen locally and things can disappear but not be looked after. But to have them properly deposited means that Ken's great work will be kept forever.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
That's
Thank you
great.
very much. See, I was hoping I forgot all about that six deposits. Really good, because we actually have been reprinting the Quaggy book. And it's been selling, not like hotcakes, but it's been selling. It's the 4th reprint, so you can't complain. There's 200 per reprint. So it's all doing very well. He's certainly still read, put it that way. So read widely in his own handwriting as well. Now, okay, still some people actually know a little bit. Sue, did you ever know Ken? Fair enough, well, you knew a little bit.
I used to come across him.
Yeah. Well, he'd be cycling around, as I said, yeah.
I'm just impressed by what he did.
And he'd walk up and down the railways on Christmas Day when there were no trains and just taking photographs. And actually, when he passed away, and he had a funeral service at on the road, and a few of us were there. The ashes were there, and he didn't have anybody really to next of kin at all. So I took it upon myself to be that next of kin, because I was the last person to see him alive up there, sort of thing, and we had him interviewed. You want to say something?
Well, I just want to say I was with Mike on one occasion when he deposited part of the ashes, because he put them. I'll let Mike.
No, well, I haven't got to that yet, but it took a long time to get the ashes, basically,
Yes, it
because they weren't going to give it to me, because who were they? Just going to incinerate them again, no doubt. So, I mean, in Selchip. But no, I persevered, and I got hold of them, and it took me a good few months to scatter them around. So he basically went on the back of my bicycle,
Yes.
and I was cycling around, throwing him over bridges, on rivers and railways. Bit of him there, bit of him there. He was looking after me. He enjoyed the ride. Killian.
I understand.
Yes, that was great. Go on.
May I just say one more thing? One of the things, when Mike said that he'd got the ashes, I said to him, "Did you take him down that alleyway that leads to the Broccoli Jack?" He said, "Of course I did." And I had no idea he was going to do that, but I just thought Tony would have loved to have gone down that alleyway.
Yep, there's a little alleyway that goes round back of the Broccoli Jack over the road to the cemetery.
In a way he did.
Yeah.
Yep, so he's
In his trusty bicycle. I think he had a rally.
and I should have got in touch with the allotments person, Katie, because Katie Delaney. No.
So somebody.
Okay, but I think it's Katie Delaney. She was, because he was into orchards. Allotments. So orchards. He had his own orchard, his own garden. It's now.
You sure there was only one Ken to do all this? Yes. I mean, even I would struggle to do it well. It must have been 2 that they're little doppelgangers. I think must be doing all this work.
Yeah. And they had a lovely orchard in the back of his garden, and of course they sold the house. The proceeds went to St Christopher's.
Yeah.
And but whoever took it over, whoever bought it at the auction, they just lawned over the garden. All those beautiful ancient varieties of apples probably just went. Very sad. So and I've still got some of his jam in my cellar actually. Yes, I should have brought it along. I thought about it last night. I forgot.
I need wine.
Okay.
I need wine.
No, none of this wine. We've actually got our own Ladywell, that's elderflower champagne for this if you want to drink early, but still. If you want to drink, we've got some from elderflowers picked in Ladywell Fields, so we've got some champagne there. So right, anybody else want to say, because some of you, I mean, I think we're all right. We have a qualified archivist here as well. Oh, right, okay, fine, okay. Okay, he's not going to say a thing because he's a qualified archivist, and archiving a lot of this stuff is very important. The other thing to say about today is it is his 100th birthday on this day, which is amazing, and that's probably why he's up there.
Hold a second.
He's taken a bit of time off heaven and just said, I'll have a look at this lot. I'm sure it goes well and stop the rain. And It's also my 64th birthday, but we shan't talk about that because when I'm 64, anything can happen. Anyway, thank you everybody.
Well done.
Yes, and I've just asked permission from Jeff to have that photograph because that's one of the
I'll try to dig
photographs.
it out, and any other photographs you can find of Kim.
And you're talking about the photographs he's got. Where are they? Because if they're old Lewisham, they. Well,
I don't know where the colours. There
Need
must have
them.
been a load of colour slides in boxes. I don't know what happened to those. If they were not in when they were cleared out, I don't know whether the boxes. But I know we had,
remember. We were just working so flat against the time.
yeah.
but there was certainly
Yeah,
he had
couple of
loads of
weeks
little
ago.
boxes of Kodak
Slides.
slide
I can
film.
remember
So
them.
he never did. We used to do prints, but he gave off that and he just did slides because obviously he didn't have to process them. You know, he just collected them. I know he had probably hundreds of boxes. Probably down there. He probably never threw.
We wouldn't have tried anything like that, so I think we have it
So
saved.
we haven't got any of those slides, unfortunately, because he obviously kept them at home. But I don't know if I may have. I'll have to look and see if I can find any of his earlier pictures that he may not have.
Well, be in touch and we'll look into it.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I was
Well,
going
I'll
to say,
obviously
what
go
is the
through Mike.
future?
I'll go through
Well,
Mike.
Go direct, actually, with Townsend, because you are in charge.
The Lewisham Local History Society, my name is on, my email is on their website. So email me and I will
Okay. Right.
ask the people that are looking into things. Give you a call,
And your logo is actually on. Yes, there it is. Your logo is actually there. I pinched
Picture
it.
of you, Mike, holding there.
Oh, all right, okay. This is the copy, just in case the first one goes, but the dummies that have been going up over the years, and the precursors that have been going up over the years, they haven't really been vandalised. A few have been ripped off, but that's not necessarily this stuff. So that was proof, and I think that will last for a while, and if it doesn't, then this one's going to go up.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it'll be fine. Thank you.
Gosh.
Selfie. We've got a few people watching, including you, Adela. How come you're watching?
I'm going to step in and
Right,
say
oh,
a few
go on.
words.
Oh,
Yeah. Well done.
oh I
Because,
haven't even asked Paul. Go on. Go on.
Everyone knows Mike. Talk about Swiss Army knife type people. I mean, Mike does so much, as you know. I don't think he ever sleeps. Actually, I think he's kind of
8 hours a day on average.
He's on to lots of things, as you know. He did mention it's his birthday. I actually knew it was his birthday, but I have actually got your little card, which most people have signed
Thank you.
to say happy birthday, but also thank you for doing this.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Rob. Thank you.
Because you've done it all on your own,
He's a lovely guy.
on your own bat.
Need it.
Yeah. I think we agree on that. But I just wanted to
I'm waiting for the
acknowledge
same thing when I pop off, by the way. Anyway, carry on.
the other thing Mike never does is stop talking. So
That's a bit of the kettle turning the kettle back there.
I just wanted to say that Mike kind of latched onto this idea, thought of things, saw some materials, designed it all, did the wording, thought about it, tried to capture the spirit of what he wanted to do. We said, get on with it, Mike. It's your project, do it, whatever. And you can see it's been done really nicely. And it's semi-unofficial in the sense that we said, well, we don't want to go to the expense of putting up, formal plaques that we have to pay. Why don't we just test the water, literally, by putting up ones temporarily? And Mike was forever, putting these up and replacing them if they got damaged, and then just generally gauging people's reaction, I suppose, but also liaising with the council and others to then potentially make it official to get people's buy-in, because but the idea was, sometimes you kind of just need to test an idea. You don't have to necessarily get overly procedural about these things. But I think we have established that it's welcome and it's been accepted in a kind of authorised way. The other beauty about what Mike has done, some of you will have seen, not all of you will have seen, this is a cutout from a large section about this big of this material. So he's got lots of these, some are pre-prepared with some other luminaries' names in place to put on other bodies. So we hope that we will do some other namings. So the Martin Hodge Bridge, for example, and a few others that we'll probably do in due course. So anyway, Mike, all down to you really. So a round of applause for Mike and a happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm 64.
That's a song for the Beatles, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'll
something
play it
about
this
when
morning.
I'm 64.
First thing this morning I played it.
Yeah, great stuff. Well done. And the rain has started. So
You're at the end of the ceremony. Official.
and we should get a group shot. Maybe we should get a group shot around the plaque. Does that make sense?
Ignore the rain.
Great.
If people
I haven't got to be hard yet. Oh, I'm still doing a live Facebook, by the way.
go there and if you come in as closely as possible. We probably need some
So,
people
Michael,
bending down
Peter.
as well. Those that can bend down.
So I should
Don't
say
be
there's,
shy, get a bit
I should
closer.
say there's two people over there who've been long suffering over the last few months. Anyway,
Yeah, all come in.
right.
Someone could feed the.
I'm going to go down here. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to go down here.
Good, good.
That's all right. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to read the thing. Oh, lovely. Try not to get it all splattered. I'll have to read that when
There's
dry.
space, there's space.
You're going to have to go back about
Right,
50
okay, I'm
yards.
going to go right under here.
Have you got everyone in, sweetheart?
Panorama view. See, some of you come on this or this side.
Can you do a panorama?
Oh, yeah, I can do panorama. I've got a few people watching us. I'll take your phone now.
Yeah.
Vertical, you have to do it.
I'm doing this on Quag's Facebook page, doing a live
Okay.
podcast on Quag. Great. Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much everyone for coming along.
Thank you
With
for
the
everyone
weather
for coming.
forecasts. It was not an easy thing, but thank you. But wet as well.
Yeah, of course it was.
Wouldn't have stopped
rain,
him.
you know.
Right, thanks for watching, everybody. Yeah,
Live cast.
yeah, I've live casting that, so.